is March and that means a new to be read pile. Hello everyone and welcome on that Horror Chick, my channel where I ramble about all things horror. My name is Angie and I am a huge horror fan. From books to movies, I like it all. In this video I am going to show you guys my to be read pile for March 2025. I have quite a few books on my TBR pile this month and I'm very excited to get through them all. Let's get started, shall we? I am on a mission to read 100 horror books this year, which means that I have to read 8 to 10 books a month. So here are the 10 books that I want to read this month. The first book is one that I actually started last month and that is Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. Don't mind me mispronouncing names, I'm very bad at that. But I'm gonna try my very best. Rest Stop is about a young musician that finds himself locked up in the bedroom of a gas station in the middle of nowhere. Soon he is caught between the assailant on the other side of the door and the creepy crawlies skittering down the walls. I am very excited for this one. I have it on my TBR for I think already a year. I have been told that this one is not that heavy on the gore, but it still has some gore, so it kind of caught my interest and I'm very excited to read it. Currently I am somewhere halfway the book and I am loving it until now. But I will tell you guys all about it in my wrap up next month. Next up is Horrorstör by Grady Hendrix. I am really excited for this one. I saw it at a bookstore and I was like, what is a IKEA advertisement doing here? Why is there a catalogus right over here? So I picked it up and I looked at it and it was a book, a horror book. I was like, I need to have this. I need to have this. So it's on its way right now. So I'm very happy to add it to my TBR for this month. The story is pretty simple. There is something weird going on in the Orcs Superstore in Cleveland. This is basically a knockoff IKEA, which I find really funny and which is what I'm most excited about. Every morning employees arrive to find all types of things broken. Sales are down, security cameras show absolutely nothing, they have no clue what is going on. And the store manager is panicking, and that's kinda the gist of the story. Horrorstör is a comedy horror, which I'm really excited about. I kinda already expected it, and it is designed to look like a IKEA catalog, which I absolutely love. I can't wait to get started. Another book that I'm very excited about is Slashtag by John Kahn. This is a paranormal horror and is about 400 pages long. This book is about Tawny, who is a top tier influencer who is having the worst week of her life. She promoted a health drink and this turned out to be tainted with a parasite. She is losing followers fast and they need to do something about it. To fix her image, she is joining the first season of Slashtag, the newest horror reality show. The show is set to take place in a hotel where a mass murder has happened. And it is said that this hotel is haunted. At first everything is fun and games until they discover that these stories about a haunted hotel might be real. Now the ghost is out for their blood and they need to survive the 3-day live-streamed event. I love the idea that this book is written as a reality show. I mean, that just charmed me and really convinced me to get this book. I can't wait to get started because I have never read a book by John Kahn before. Another book that I really want to read is Bunny, a contemporary horror by Mona Awad. Samantha is an outsider at her highly selective FMA program at Warren University. She is absolutely disgusted by the rest of her fiction writing cohort, which is a group of rich girls that call each other Bunny. But everything changes when Samantha receives an invite to the Bunny's fabled smut salon. She finds herself absolutely attracted and even ditches her only friend. But as Samantha gets more and more involved with the bunnies, the edges of reality starts to blur. She even takes part in this off-campus workshop where they conjure their monstrous creations. This is another book that immediately caught my attention. I am a huge splatterpunk lover and this workshop thing, I think, that's what I expect at least, that they are taking bodies apart and like creating their dream boyfriends or something. That's what I hope for. I am very curious what Barney is going to bring me. The next book on my list is a splatterpunk called The Groomer by John Ayton. I am so excited to read this one because I absolutely love splatterpunk books. This story is about Andrew, who is concerned about his family when he finds a young man photographing his daughter and other children. This young man is Zachary, and when confronted by the police, he somehow manages to talk himself out of trouble. Andrew hopes that this is the end of it, but luck doesn't seem to be on his side because he keeps running into Zachary. He first runs into him at a diner, then at a grocery store, and at some point he convinces himself that these are not coincidences. And just as Andrew starts getting ready to defend his family, his daughter disappears. When the police search comes out with nothing, Andrew decides to take matters in his own hands. He starts researching interrogation techniques and also starts researching about sex offenders in the area. He is willing to do anything to get his daughter back. The reason why I really want to read this book is because the blurb doesn't sound like a splatterpunk. Yet it is still listed as a genre on Goodreads and Storygraph. I really want to know what that is about. The next book is one that I actually found on Booktube. It turned out that I was actually following the writer, and she was so enthusiastic about it that I got really curious. This book is Blood of the Sinner by Deadly Rose. You probably already guessed it, but this is another splatterpunk book. Aria Monroe has given up all hope to be loved and accepted. Bible thumpers have made it their mission to destroy her ailment as a heretic. The sins she has committed have led her to a new home, surrounded by monsters that hide behind their faith. Her demons have followed her there, and she plans to use it to send them to the depths of hell. The moment that I read the blurb, I immediately put it on my TBR pile. The next book has been on my radar for quite a while already. It is The Black Farm by Elias Ridrow. This is yet another splatterpunk book. It is my favorite genre of horror, and this one is supposed to be really good. I have seen TikToks about it, I have seen YouTube videos about it, Goodreads is really enthusiastic about it, I have read the reviews on Storygraph, and it all made me so curious to this book. The Black Farm is about Nick and Jess, who have just lost a child and decide to take their own lives. After committing the act, Nick wakes up in complete darkness and realizes that this is not the gentle darkness that he expected from death. Panicked and horrified, he struggles to understand the hellish world he is now trapped in. Driven by desperation, he sets out to find Jess because he doesn't want her to suffer in this new hellish world. But nothing could prepare him for the nightmare he found. This book is 325 pages long, and it actually quite surprised me because it sounds like a novella. I expected this to be around 100 pages long or something, which means there is a lot going to happen in this book, and I cannot wait to get started. The next book is one that I actually got for my birthday, and it's called The Prettiest Girl in the Grave. It will not surprise you, but this is yet another splatterpunk book. This book is about Bella, Celeste and Rose that meet up in the woods to play a secret game. This game is called The Prettiest Girl in the Grave. It starts with personal questions, but quickly moves to a test of courage. Aubrey, an older girl, actually taught them this game and leads them to an underground crypt. But Aubrey doesn't really know what they are getting themselves into. Bella's mother Holly has also played this game as a teen and might be the only one that knows what is going on. When Holly discovers that her daughter has gone to the graveyard, she is terrified that Bella will also get lost in the catacombs, just as she had as a teen. As the girls search for a way out, Holly needs to return to the crypt and face her fears. Again, this is a book that didn't sound like a splatterpunk to me, but it sounded more like a paranormal horror, which is always the thing that makes me curious. When a blurb doesn't sound like a specific genre, I want to know what it is about, especially when the genre is splatterpunk. Also, I think that this book has an incredibly pretty cover. And I have to admit, sometimes I do judge a book by its cover. The next book is only 32 pages long and is a queer splatterpunk. This is Gaping Wounds by Iona Penn and Mira Mason. Basically, this novella is about Caden, who has always known that he is different than the others. He felt different on the inside than he looked on the outside. But he has reached a point where he will stop for nothing to have his outside match how he feels on the inside. Caden begins to research on the deep dark web for do-it-yourself gender reassignment surgeries. This is a book where I can exactly imagine where the splatterpunk comes in. I think that maybe you can imagine it too. This is gonna be like a short one but a heavy one, I think. Then I have another short splatterpunk book of only 85 pages long. And this is Dollface by Ryan Powell. Dollface is Papa's perfect little dolly. Now she is awake and she is out for revenge for everything that she was forced to see and endure. Again, this is a splatterpunk in which I can kinda imagine where the splatterpunk is going to come in. I think the splatterpunk aspect of both these books are going in the same region, if you get what I'm saying. So another splatterpunk book that I'm very excited for. The last book on my TBR list is a book that I actually got off a YouTube video. This was one of those YouTube videos, if you like this movie then read this book. I just know that I am going to completely butcher the name of this writer. I am talking about William by Mason Coyle. The movie that I liked was Megan, and they said that this book was quite similar. This book is about Henry, who is a brilliant engineer. He has reached a breakthrough in his career. He has created an artificial intelligence consciousness, and he calls this half-formed robot William. No one knows about William, but Henry's agoraphobia keeps him inside. His fixation on this project keeps him away from other people and especially from his pregnant wife Lily. Lily and Henry live in a smart home, and eventually Lily's co-workers want to come over to meet Henry and to see the new house. Henry decides to introduce them to William, and things go from weird to worse. Soon Lily and Henry discovered that the new security updates to keep people out of the house are even better to keep people locked in. I totally understand why this book is comparable to Megan. They both have this robot, artificial intelligence, consciousness thing going on. With Megan 2.0 soon releasing, I was already craving something like the movie. So when this YouTube video recommended this book to me, it immediately landed on my TBR pile. And that was my last book for my March TBR. I have chosen 10 books instead of 8 because there are a few short ones. And I tend to go really fast through these short ones. I can read up to 4 novellas a day if I put my mind to it. If you want to stay up to date about all the books that I read and which I add to my TBR pile, you can follow me on Goodreads and Storygraph. You can also find me on Instagram, where I post about what I am reading now and again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was my first video here on this YouTube channel, and I had so much fun recording it. I just love info dumping about all the books that I'm going to read. If you know any books that you think that I might like, leave them in the comments down below. Maybe also give a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to see more content like this. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye!